And I tell the patient, if you want to have a perfect nose, I'm not the person. Rhinoplasty, it's crazy. And now I'm giving you breaking news, okay? Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hamad Al Jaber. I'm a plastic and reconstructive surgeon.
Doctor, who were you before the white coat?
Oh, it took me a long time ago. I would say I was a dreamer. You know, I had too many dreams. I wanted to be a doctor. At the same time, I had so many interests. I was in sports. I was, doing reading. I was and in school. I was involved in so many activities. But I had to choose something that was really my passion. So when I went to do medicine, I was 17 years old. I finished high school, and I was given a scholarship to go to Ireland. And the reason why I chose Ireland is, I have an uncle who's a doctor. He was a pediatrician, and he explained to me, that the Royal College of Surgeons, and he met so many of the people that were studying medicine at the time, and the Irish people are so nice and friendly. The path towards medicine was much more clear to me than going to UK, for example, or the States. And there was, at that time, it was at the end of 1988, 1989. That wasn't really. There was no agreements with any universities. So I thought that was the clearest path, and with the reputation of the Royal College of Surgeons. And going to do medicine, you have to sacrifice a lot. So I had to sacrifice a lot of my other interests. It's a big dedication. So I was a mixture of so many things, but I had to give up a lot to wear the white coat. And there's a lot of sacrifice. It's not really an award, it's a recognition. I mean, it was never in my mind, to be honest. I always planned my life to do less as I grow and give more. It may sound too poetic, but it's actually true. When I was almost, let's say, 40 or 41, in 2014, I decided to quit my government job. When I graduated, I initially planned that I quit or retire early from government and just focus on the things that I love. I sacrificed so much to do medicine, but I didn't want to continue my whole life in medicine. But as things develop, adaptation to the changes, this is what survival is all about. I thought that maybe it's time to leave much earlier than I anticipated. So I left in 2014, and I decided just to do things that I love. And there was a time in that job that I thought there was no way forward. So instead of just getting buried in the system, I decided maybe I should just create my own success. But I already had experience in the private sector as a part-time from 2011. So in 2014, I was ready to embark on my journey, one step at a time. Baby steps. I didn't want to rush, but just things kind of happened much faster than I expected. Fast forward, going to private sector. Working in the private sector is very difficult, challenging, because you have only yourself, and you have to really create your team and your support. And so it was really difficult initially, but then now we have everything here. We have a team, and we have nurses, admins, and support, and as we say, it's ecosystem. But there was a time when a surgeon will ask himself, and then what? Okay, and this came to me just before COVID. And then COVID, and when my kids grow up, and I say, well, okay, I'm getting old. My patients also get old. What are we going to leave behind? Okay, I'm not an author. I'm not an academic. I'm sure everybody knows the legacy. What do you leave behind? What's going to outlive you? And then the COVID came, and there was a lot of free time. Okay, and this. Actually, there's a lot of initiative that started before COVID. We did something with some of the local foundations, some of the local charity foundations. I actually volunteered. Then I came up with an idea. Okay, the saying that if you cannot be great, help someone become great. Maybe I can help people, and the best way to help people is through education. And this is when I came to the idea to establish something to help people who cannot afford to do medicine, or cannot afford to do nursing or physiotherapy or whatever, medical. I actually reached out to a few organizations, and it was welcomed, but nothing actually materialized until There was a time when I just, by pure luck, you get these emails from all the universities or associations that you're connected with, and sometimes you donate and you receive an email. So one of those donations was actually my college that I graduated, RCSI, and then I sent a very negligible amount, and I received this long email acknowledgement, and I said, well, it was only this much. Do you think this is the effect that's going to happen? And she said, yes, of course. You don't know how much each penny worth something. And that's why I got the recognition for establishing 2 student programs. And it started by a small idea, and it became so big. And now we have 2 lifelong scholarships. It will outlast me. And this is why they recognized. I didn't even know what a court of patron is. Told I'm the first Arab to ever be on that, to be on that board. And this board will live forever, for as long as the college lives. And the college is already 240 years old. We have a place in the library, or we can give you an option. We can give you a naming rights. This was really astonishing. I say, I'm always consider myself as a low-profile person, and I don't want to. And especially my son is in the college. I don't want this to affect him in any way, positive or negative. So I said, well, let's wait until my son graduates. And I said, no, this is a message of diversity. It was very overwhelming, but I said, well, if we're going to do it, it's not about me having a name. It's about what the effect is going to be. People buy naming rights. You can say, I want my name on this stadium or my name on this building. For me, it's not about buying. It's about what's this money going to do. I started private practice in 2011. I was maybe 37 years old at that time. I wanted to see my success. Free spirits, people who are creative, people who have a lot to give. You cannot draw a path for them. This is what they say, and I've done a lot of leadership courses and training. You cannot institutionalize someone who has so much to give, has a creative mind. And this is what I faced. We know best. You will have to do this, and this is your space. Yeah, and that for me, that was frustrating. So I decided maybe it's time that I should just create my own thing. I was blessed with so many things that I've never dreamed of. And now I'm giving you breaking news, okay? Maybe nobody knows about this yet. It's not official. I'm going back, okay? Yes, yeah. Yes, I've been asked, Hamad, we want you to help the young generation in Hamad Hospital. We want you to re-establish the unit. We want you to mentor and train the future surgeons. Thank you very much. I owe you a lot, and I'm willing to do it, provided I'm given the right support. I'm sacrificing all of this to go back and do it. I say temporarily, but given this, the sacrifice that I will do, and I thank them for that. For me, it's not practical to come at 4 p.m. and operate. Surgeons like to operate early in the morning. I will find a way, but that's not my priority. I always wanted to retire early. This fits in my legacy, in my quest to leave something behind. So I'm going back to help establish young surgeons, hopefully not more than 3 years. What will the young generation look up to when they want to build their career? I mean, you can be a YouTuber, with all respect to the YouTubers. You can do a lot of good things on YouTube. There's a lot of education. I actually learned. I have a master in law. A lot of my learning actually came from YouTube. I attended so many classes on YouTube. It was a distant learning, and I wanted to have this interaction. I watched a lot of videos on YouTube. Would I encourage my kids to be YouTubers as a way of living, or do stupid things on TikTok? Or surgeons that dance in OR and receive high views? Is this the way that we want to raise our kids? Maybe it's a good way to earn money, but is this anybody's legacy? Is it something just to go by? And when we say influencer to do what? What do you influence? What exactly do we influence? Influence behavior, influence thought, or influence education, or influence exactly what? Why can't somebody who's an achiever be an influencer? Why don't you call him an influencer? You just call him whatever. Sometimes it's all psychological. Different names associated with different way of life can turn people around. There are people that they don't deserve enough attention, but we can support them and help them. I cannot afford to send everybody to college. We can do something about it. Let's raise awareness about this. Helping people, making a small خلينا نقول fund, let's say fund scholarship program. But then the idea came that why can't we do this as a national campaign? And actually a lot of people actually were on board, but unfortunately there was nothing done about this. And I had to take my ideas elsewhere. I would have loved to have this in my own country, where I will live and I will die. But because the idea was so good and it was not really adopted very well, somebody else adopted it. And I really appreciate RCSI for taking up my idea and actually growing it much bigger. People actually misinterpret plastic surgery as in it's something cosmetic or fake. Actually, plasti means Greek or Latin. It's to fix patients who have disfigurements, patients who have burns. We leave the most effect in them, and they actually also touch our souls. We receive our gratitude when we see the patient happy or seeing the value of the work that we did. I actually meet with my students and I see their success and I consider it reflects on me. And when somebody praised them, I said, well, even if I didn't teach them anything, at least I gave them the opportunity. And for that, I'm proud of what they did. The cycle of life is a teacher, if he's honest, the student will be better than him. The cycle of life. Unfortunately, in so many cultures, if a student becomes better than the teacher, يعني الكبير كبير والصغير صغير. والاستاذ لازم ما حد العين ما تعلى على الحاجب. That's against all concepts of education or evolution or whatever. If I have a student and I'm very honest with him, or I have somebody that I'm mentoring, if I'm 100% honest, give him all the chances and opportunities and everything I learn, it will definitely lead to him being better than me because he has more energy, more opportunity, new generation, there are more chances. So definitely he will also learn from other things and he will be better than me. If he's not better than me, if he doesn't become better than me, that means there's something wrong with me. It's futile. It's pointless. You have to ask questions. The way the human brain works is through questioning. And this is the way you have to question everything. I've been raised this way, unfortunately, when I was in school, that this is the way it is. It is what it is. But I have been blessed by certain teachers that actually embraced this kind of questioning. Some teachers are actually embrace this, and some others, they just want to finish their class and go home. Teachers are the most important. And that's why in Japan, they're the highest paid, according to what I read. As they say, the truth is there for those who want to look for the truth. It's how it's portrayed. I'm one of those people that keep fighting for the image of plastic surgeons. Plastics people, even the translation in Arabic is completely absurd. جراحة تجميل. يجيك الكوافير مع احترامي للكوافير ولا الكوافيرة تعتبرك أنت زميل مهنة. Degrading to the specialty. Plastic surgery is an ancient art. It was there before even surgery was called surgery. Okay, it's not a specialty that's been developed. It's part of general or part of anything. Plastic surgery has been there for thousands of years. And then it's in the 50s, and this is Marilyn Monroe did rhinoplasty. Whoever, we can argue about this, who did that. But then this thing, the cosmetic part, came actually much later on. But it was all World War I, World War II, reconstructive surgery, all of this. So it's not something new. And now it's becoming part of surgery, but initially it's an ancient art. I don't do nose jobs for the sake of looking beautiful, having beautiful noses. I do them because of breathing issues. And I tell the patient, if you want to have a perfect nose, I'm not the person to come to. To be in this loop of whatever's going on in the social media world. Now people listen to bloggers more than they listen to surgeons, qualified surgeons. They hear on TikTok that you have to put straps on your nose, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. And there is no standard instruction. It's education, it's awareness. This is what's important. And I actually stopped posting before and afters a long time ago, because it's you have an intention, you want to show your progress, you show your results, and it's a right for everyone to show his mastery, as they say. Those people who have body dysmorphic issues, as they say, some element of peer pressure, and we have this in school, bullying, or people who have image distortion, how will they look at this? Raising this bar for people that, oh, you have to look this way or that way, that's something I don't want to take part of. Rhinoplasty, it's crazy. Social media, comparison, peer pressure. People think that everybody that we see on social media are real. I have seen people that I've known on social media and I've seen them on reality, I could not recognize them. There's a lot of filters, even the before and afters, a lot of before and afters are played with. There's a lot of blessing behind selfies and a lot of blessings behind the technology that we have. I never thought that we can have a video call with anyone. I only saw it in James Bond's movies. And I don't think that will ever actually come in life, and we can never have this. And now, I don't know if one day we can be beamed like Star Trek. We can beamed from here to another country in seconds. I hope that I live that era where I can travel in a few seconds. Huh? But you never know. I mean, the way things are going, things just developed so rapid. And now if you go to a 6-year-old and give him a phone, he thinks that's his right. Of course. People really believe that a lot of this is real. And I tell them, one thing I tell them, I said, I want to correct my site profile. I said, why? I said, because it doesn't look good on pictures. I said, well, is the الأصل ولا الصورة? You can fix a photo with Photoshop and it's much cheaper. Why would you take the burden of doing surgery that has a risk? It's a surgery at the end. Whatever success rate that we have, at least there are, of course, risk for, general risk of surgery. And I have no shame in telling patients that you're not psychologically ready. والقطيع هذه خطر جدا، لأن تفكير القطيع هاي هو اللي مودينا في 60 داهية. يحطون لك مثلا باب مفتوح أو مثلا سياج زين وشلوا السياج، بس القطيع تعود إنه هو يمر من هالسياج، وحاطين له باب وخلوا الباب موجود والباب مسكر والقطيع ما يمشي من الباب. يعتقد إن لازم نفتح الباب عشان يطلع من السياج هذه، والسياج مش موجود. ونفس الشيء في أمور كثيرة. الخيل حتى أنت ممكن تمثل كأنك أنت تربطها على سرج وتسوي هالحركات والشكل وما يكون في سرج أصلاً. شوف، هذه نظرية القطيع، واحد يمشي الكل يمشي معه. صارت حتى عندنا إحنا ترندات في الطب. قص المعدة، لما صار قص المعدة، لما صارت الهبة ما تقص المعدة، لما صارت قصة أشياء وايد صارت، المنجارو الحين اللي يضربون إبر هاي مال التخسيس. Why do you want to become a doctor? Is it cool, or is it because you're an A student? If you're an A student, it doesn't mean that you necessarily will be a good doctor. If you want to be a doctor, you'll have to really have a passion for it. It's not a job. Doctors in the world now. But if you're willing to make a difference and leave something behind, I think it's worth it.